Good Sunday morning. This is Ryan from Drinks and Dragons. I'm drinking coffee right now. Nothing too crazy. Much required, much needed. But as promised, I said, a few weeks ago that I would spend maybe the last Sunday of each month going over questions from you guys. And I have one. Sorry, that's a fungus gnat. Probably, I don't know if it's from that guy or maybe the ZZ plant, but anyway. So the question that came up was, hey, not very specific, but just more in general, can you talk about classes? So let's spend a few minutes talking about what classes mean in the game of Dungeons and Dragons. Cheers. First, we need to get the player's handbook, because that's where we're really gonna get all the detail we need about classes. Oh, Rocky and Kona agree this is the best source. All right, so I've got the player's handbook open here to the chapter on classes, chapter 3, and just kind of a high-level summary of how I think about classes relative to player characters. If the race is sort of the biological background of your character, you know, you're a halfling or a gnome or an elf or a dwarf, and you know, kind of depicted here in this cool picture. The class that you choose is kind of your career, you know, so your occupation, your trade, it's the thing that you do. So here they are, there's a list of them on page 45 of the player's handbook that gives a really nice high-level summary of all of the available classes. I think when I started playing, and this is way back when, I think fighter, let's see, what was it? Thief, I think it was called, wizard, and what was the other one? Oh, I can't remember. Ranger, maybe? Cleric, that's gotta be what it was. Anyways, that's going way back, and I've long since lost my old player's handbook from 1980, whatever it was. Anyhow, wow, that's a walk down memory lane. I digress, but Wizards of the Coast has done a really good job of taking these classes, and for example, here in Xanathar's, there's really spent a lot of time going through each of the classes again and giving you more customization options within them, in addition to what's in the player's handbook. So you can take these classes and really have a lot of fun with them. So the question I think I was asked was a little bit more around how to play a rogue. This is not necessarily it doesn't have to be a scoundrel. It can be a sneaky person who uses stealth and trickery to overcome obstacles and enemies. I will say this, a rogue with sneak attack can be deadly. So don't think of them as just some little lightweight. Rogues can really come in and do some serious dirty work in combat if need be. And how to play them, you know, think about the alignment. Think about, you know, are they evil? Are they good? Or maybe they're just chaotic good. Or maybe they do have some sort of code of honor that they've ascribed themselves to, which would make them maybe lawful good even. So they don't necessarily have to always be in the shadows doing bad things. They could be in the shadows doing good things, but probably in the shadows. They are very stealthy. As you see, dexterity is their primary ability. Typically smart, typically light, you know, light armor, simple weapons. But like I said, a rogue with some daggers doing or a rapier or short sword doing sneak attacks can deliver some serious oomph in your player character's ability to help the group. Let's put it that way. All right, a couple of other things on class I should point out that I think are really important, and I'm just going to be reading from the book here. It gives you a lot of information about when you're building out your character, things you need to pay attention to. It tells you what your proficiencies are. So does your background, but you know, it tells you what armor you're proficient in, what weapons you've got proficiency in, and it makes sense, right? Because your race wouldn't tell you that kind of stuff, but if you're, and I'm looking at the rogue again, if you're a rogue, you're going to be proficient in certain weapons and in certain armor, as opposed to, say, a fighter. You're going to be proficient in certain weapons and certain armor. So this is where all of that kind of comes into play. It also gives you your hit points. It tells you what your hit dice are. And, you know, are you D8, D10, D12, D6, what your kind of other features are, and what your starting equipment is, and then as you level up, what kind of things go with that class as you get better at doing whatever it is that class does. So that's a short video on classes, a little bit of detail on rogues. I hope that answers some of the background questions that you guys have. If you have additional questions or detailed questions that you want me to dig into, leave them in the comments section. I try to read them all now and try to answer most of them. And I will continue to do that as long as I can. And if you're interested in just kind of seeing how the characters play out, you can watch my homebrew session that I'm running. I don't know what happened with the last video. Unfortunately, they cut off our last combat encounter. I don't know, I might have accidentally hit stop recording when I was moving things around on my computer to show some maps and things like that. That's my guess. But nonetheless, most of the time, those sessions go off without a hitch. And you can see how the characters, what do we have? We have, well, we've got a new character now. Gimler, I've got the name written down, just joined the campaign because we lost Django, the ranger. In level 3 combat, which I didn't expect, but sometimes the dice roll the way they roll, and you gotta just, you know, live and die by the dice. So, or live and die. Oh gosh, okay, no more puns. And then, let's see, who else do we have? We've got a barbarian. We've got, oh, they're gonna be mad, I got a wizard. So you can listen, you know, you can watch those games or other people's games. There's lots of opportunity to watch people playing D&D now, which is really cool. And that's probably the best way to learn if you've got some time. Just plug into a couple of campaigns, things that have entertaining stories or entertaining characters or entertaining dungeon masters, and listen to how they play. And keep in mind, I mean, you know, these rule books are amazing, awesome, but the whole point is not to get stuck on the rules. The whole point, as always, is to have a good time playing Dungeons and Dragons with your friends. So with that, have a great day, have a great week, have a great month. Hang in there. October's almost over. Happy Halloween. Don't forget to vote if you're going to vote the right way. All right, bye. Hey, if you like that video, please subscribe, hit the button, and you can check out some of my other videos over here, and see you next time. This is Ryan from Drinks and Dragons, signing off.